Roderick Strong requests his WWE release and refused a name change. Plus, we have an update on the WWE brand split, and a stipulation has been added to a WrestleMania Backlash match. All in the wrestling news right now. So this broke last night. Another NXT black and gold Triple H era original. Who's like, I'm done now, lads. Take it easy.
And a colourful 2.0 standout, a leader of the Diamond Mine.
Lest we forget, we are talking about Roderick Strong. Fightful Select breaking the news that Roderick Strong has not only asked for his WWE release, but has asked for his WWE release multiple times.
Yep, many sources within the company were surprised that Strong was not included in the releases last week, of course. That include the likes of Dexter Lumis and Persia Pirotta, more stalwarts of the 2.0 colourful era. But it was made, as it was made clear to WWE, that he wanted to get out. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. You get out, but I want to get out. You must stay.
It is literally somebody playing with their toys, isn't it?
They can't come back with budget cuts when people who want to stay are told to go away and people who want to go away are told to stay. That's not budget cuts.
That's a weird relationship, that is.
I know.
Where it's like, leave me alone, I'm lonely, come back. Now, there's more to this Roderick Strong thing, and this could even be a bit of a starter cap for why he wanted to go. He was approached with a name change on NXT 2.0, pitched a name, and Fightful Select say, quote, he was opposed the idea of.
No, it could either be, yeah, he's just against it. And it could be either fantastic because you got Elton Prince, which is one of the greatest professional wrestling names of all time, or we could go the other way, and we know how bad some NXT 2.0 names are. You can see why he wouldn't want to rebrand after being such an established character in NXT since 2017, 18, something like that, 4 or 5 years now. But yeah, you can just see why he would just not want to do that, wouldn't you?
I wonder whether they were just going to call him Strong.
Roderick. Roddy.
Rod.
R.
They're now just a noise, just a line on a piece of paper. Fightful Select go on to say there were many within the company surprised that he was not included, as you said. Those we've spoken to on WWE's side things say that Strong has remained professional in his handling of creative week to week. WWE sources that confirm the news claim they currently have no plans to release Strong and say he factors into their creative plan.
Now that's also weird because of course Roderick Strong is in the Diamond Mine. Their manager is a man called now Stokely Hathaway, I assume, at this time of recording. He was called Malcolm Bivens. How can Malcolm Bivens, who also asked for his release famously or infamously a few months ago, or told them he wasn't going to re-sign with the company? It's basically the same thing, isn't it, when you boil it down? How is he not in creative plans, but Roderick Strong is when they're part of the same thing?
It's funny, isn't it?
It's weird. They are weird, aren't they? You weird bastard.
Say he is strong, but Hathaway, get yourself away. Weird, but we'll keep an eye on this one. I feel like there's a few more lines to come out about this one, and we'll let you know more at cultaholic.com. Thank you to Sean Feiffel of rossap.com for that particular bit. Talking of those releases from over the weekend, there was a couple of names in there that surprised us. Dexter Lumis being one of them. Now, not saying that Dexter Lumis was ever going to be like WWE champion headline WrestleMania, but you had somebody there with a well-established gimmick that had a persona that jumped out. So it was a surprise to see him go.
Yep.
He has not let the grass grow. He's already painted himself some bookings onto his calendar going forwards.
I like the idea of that. Just a massive canvas the size of that wall over there.
That's his diary.
And very much just paints over in white and starts again. But he is going to be appearing for ARW on Friday the 24th of June in their Born in Blood event, which is a perfectly named event for Dexter Lumis / Samuel Shaw.
I think he's back as Sam Shaw on the poster, or Samuel Shaw on the posters. And it's a return for him. He's been part of ARW before. I'd be interested to see which other places he pops up in. I think, Impact Wrestling, because, that's where the Sam Shaw character was born. That's where he was put on the map. I think it's something quite nice in him going back there, maybe being a bit weird around people again there.
It's definitely a gimmick that has got legs wherever he's going to go, because it looks like he's going to keep up the sort of Dexter Lumis, spooky, I'm a murderer, but I'm not going to say I'm a murderer sort of vibe.
Is that wacky, I'm a murderer, but it's
I've killed people. I've got bodies in my basement, but don't tell anybody about it.
It's a lovely picture of a hat, I do. Let's talk about the brand split. So we've mentioned a few times about whether WWE, with all these cuts, are planning to merge the brands again. And it doesn't look like that's the case, because multiple sources this morning are reporting that the WWE draft is now listed for September for the company, which is a month earlier than it was last year. And normally it falls around October time. I am so happy that this is earlier, because the one thing that really grinds my gears at the moment is you'll have October where they'll go, let's shake things up. Everybody move to different shows. And then a month later, now fight for those shows. Yeah.
I love SmackDown. I've been here for 2 days. I love the colour blue. It's my favourite. I guess it's a good thing. Why not put it just after WrestleMania? Make it even more of a point where we have months of being on SmackDown and being loyal to SmackDown. Maybe just do away with that at Survivor Series and take away this gripe that we all have about Survivor Series. Now, it doesn't really matter because they've been there for such a short period of time. It's interesting to see, though, of course, with the unifications going on. I say unifications, plural. I assume there might be more than one.
Well, we don't know. The main event for WrestleMania Backlash is suddenly a bit non-unificatory. Wow. It's Monday. It's Tuesday morning. My God, it was a bank holiday yesterday, wasn't it, mate?
Didn't I know it? Bloody hell. But it is interesting where it looks like we're going to get floating champions across both shows, which I think is a nice change of pace.
I think it's a lovely change of pace. But certainly if they're planning a draft for September, it doesn't mean that we're looking to get rid of the brand split at all in the months to come. But I love the idea of what you said there about a post-WrestleMania, because there is this sort of post-WrestleMania lull that comes, like when you have all the build, and then it's a case of, WrestleMania Backlash is kind of sort of tagging on to that a little bit. If you put a draft there, literally hard reset of the year, people moved around. I think that, and then you've got a really spicy pay-per-view with new matches again.
It would be ideal, because you could have like WrestleMania Backlash just go away, because that sort of scuppers the reset, because we're having the backlash of the WrestleMania matches. I know Backlash is nothing new, but WrestleMania Backlash has sort of hammered the point home a bit more, hasn't it? That we must have rematches from WrestleMania to finally settle the score. Do away with that and a hard reset after WrestleMania. I think everyone's palate will be cleansed.
If you're going to throw away the Backlash hooks, you might as well throw away Backlash altogether.
Exactly. Amen, sister.
Thank you. Talking of WrestleMania Backlash, Stippy has been added to one of the matches for that show.
Yes, it has. Last night on Raw, AJ Styles took on Damian Priest. AJ Styles got the win with the most devastating maneuver in professional wrestling. It was a roll-up, I think. I watched it upstairs. I forgot what happened. Finn Balor came down to make the save because there was a post-match beatdown. Edge with a lovely, lovely ponytail. So tight, so crisp to the back of his head. Himself and Damian Priest were beating down AJ Styles. Finn Balor comes down. So on one thing, looks like it's going to be Balor and Edge maybe going forward. And if you go back to the ENC pod of awesomeness days, I'm going round the buses here, Tom. Didn't this? So we'll get to the stipulation soon. If you go back to the ENC pod of awesomeness days, Finn Balor, I'm sure, if my memory serves me correctly, which it never really does, but I'm sure I'm right here, Edge would always mention Balor as someone, if he was still wrestling back in 2015, 16, 17, he would like to do the wrestling with.
Oh, he's thrown Balor's name in there a lot. Yeah. So there's certainly something they're setting up there.
But the stipulation, Damian Priest will now be banned from ringside during Edge's match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania Backlash.
Is this where we introduce a new member of Judgment Day?
It would be the perfect, not only just because it's called Judgment Day. I don't know why I've just pictured Undertaker coming back on a motorcycle. Get Rhea Ripley on a motorcycle and mow down AJ Styles out of nowhere at WrestleMania Backlash.
She walks in, mow down on a bike, chewing tobacco, last rides AJ Styles. What a time to be a wrestling
Generation
fan.
X comes down, Shane McMahon's there, they're all getting last rides put on by Rhea Ripley. Kid Rock appears out of no, that's too far.
Book it, Dano.
Yeah.
So this shapes up the WrestleMania Backlash card to look like this, as well as AJ and Edge, with Damian Priest banned from ringside. Omos is facing Bobby Lashley in a WrestleMania rematch. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins in a WrestleMania rematch. Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey in an I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's title, which is also a WrestleMania rematch.
Oh, yes.
Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, which is not a WrestleMania rematch, but it's a match.
It's a big match. This is the biggest match of the night.
Put this on last.
Those two go and settle in their score. This is what Backlash is all about.
Isn't it? And Drew McIntyre now teaming with RK Bro to face Roman Reigns and the Usos. What was going to be a tag unification match, now a 6-man tag, which doesn't seem to have any stakes.
I didn't read that before saying that point earlier on about the unifications. That shook me to my core, that has.
Yeah,
it's weird how they've done that.
I don't know whether it's a case they're not going to do it, whether they're holding fire whether it does seem strange to kind of. It's kind of got a house show vibe about it, that one. But I feel like that might be the match that starts the night. And I feel like Charlotte and Ronda will be the main.
That looks like it, the judge on that
card. Probably
yeah.
what they will do. And I think they're setting the table for the head of the table versus Drew, maybe in September.
Yeah. And I guess if you're going to have a title unification thing, it's got to be bigger than WrestleMania Backlash.
It probably has. It has.
Not even WrestleMania Kickoff show worthy, apparently, like it was back in 2K9.
For more wrestling-flavored news, you can check out Cultaholic Kickoff, or as we know it, cultaholic.com, for all your wrestling news there. And check out the YouTube channel as well, because Adam Pacitti towered over Ricochet in an interview yesterday, which you can watch on the YouTube channel. Really lovely chat with these two. And I had a nice chat with my mate Rich Holland as well, where we talk about, we get asked them questions from Google. You know, when you do your search thing and it starts writing the autofillers.
Yes.
So we ask them some very unusual things.
What's the first thing that pops up about Ridge Holland?
Is Ridge Holland from Holland?
Find out in that video. We have no idea where he's from. Only watching that video will tell you.
Have a great day. Stay safe and love you. Bye.